My long distance best friend finally moved to my city just a few blocks away from me, so we had to throw them a little housewarming welcome to the neighborhood dinner party. And since I'm a private chef, I obviously pulled out all the stops. So I planned to make 3 dishes. One of those was going to be a tuna carpaccio situation, and the other one was going to be a summery salad. And then the last one was a cross between my dirty martini pasta recipe and a spaghetti vongole recipe. So it's basically dirty martini pasta with clams, which actually makes so much sense because olives and clams and garlic and lemon, it just all goes together so well. We went to the farmer's market in the morning, which is where I got the clams and the tuna and almost all of the vegetables. So I started by rinsing the clams and then letting them soak in a really salty water. This helps get all the sand and grit out of their shells. Then I started on my tuna carpaccio, which was a pounded tuna, which sounds really weird, but it just kind of flattens it out. It makes it really thin. I let the tuna sit in the fridge while I prepared all the rest of the vegetables. For the summery salad, I did sort of a charred corn situation, and then I did some cumin roasted zucchini, cucumbers, and lettuce, obviously. And then I just paired that with a really simple lemon vinaigrette. I wanted to have a spicy mayo underneath the tuna carpaccio, so I combined some mayonnaise, Calabrian chilies, and yuzu juice. Add some salt and pepper, and then mix that together, and then I sort of just spread it on the plate. I tried to cover the entire plate because that was where the tuna was gonna go, and then I sort of had to like piece together the tuna. I had a little bit more than I needed, and I also needed it to be in a circle, like on the plate, so it was sort of a tuna mosaic, which honestly worked fine. I then brushed the tuna with a combo of brown butter and ponzu. Then I garnished it with some really thinly sliced tomatoes, some very lightly pickled shallots, and some salmon roe, along with a few pieces of dill. I set that aside, and by then it was time to start working with my clams. I drained the clams from the salty water, and then I put them all in a large pot with a big pour of wine. Then I just put the lid on and let them steam until they all slowly opened up. I removed the meat from about 80% of the clams and left the remaining clams in their shells for garnish. Then the pasta was super easy. It's just some garlic, lemon, Castelvetrano olives, and some lemon juice and brine. I garnished the pasta with lemon wedges, some parsley, and a little bit of blue cheese. And this was genuinely such a fun night, and all of the food was so good.